Every January, the most powerful people on the planet disappear into a tiny snowy town in Switzerland. Presidents, billionaires, tech CEOs, and NGO leaders all gather in one place, Davos. But what actually happens there, Anne? Why does it matter to the rest of us? In this video, we're breaking down Davos 2026 in simple language. What it is, what they discussed, who went, and why some people are protesting outside while others network inside. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the World Economic Forum's annual meeting 2026, better known as Davos 2026. From the 19th to the 23rd of January 2026, nearly 3,000 leaders from government, business, and civil society met in Davos, Switzerland, under the theme, A Spirit of Dialogue. The idea is to provide an impartial platform where leaders can talk about the world. As biggest problems from war and inequality to AI and climate change, try to find common ground. What is Davos? The Davos meeting is organized by the World Economic Forum, a Geneva-based organization founded in 1971 that brings together public and private leaders each year. Davos itself is a small ski resort town in the Swiss Alps, but for 1 week it becomes a high-security zone full of motorcades, TV cameras, and closed-door meetings. The official goal is not to sign treaties, but to shape the global agenda, launch partnerships, and push forward ideas on the economy, technology, climate, and social issues. Over time, Davos has become a symbol of globalization, admired by some as a place for cooperation and criticized by others as a club for elites. The theme for 2026 is a spirit of dialogue, and that phrase is important. The world is facing geopolitical tensions, economic uncertainty, and rapid technological change. So the forum is trying to position Davos as a place where people actually listen to each other instead of just trading accusations. The program is built around 5 big questions: how to cooperate in a more contested world, how to unlock new sources of growth, how to invest in people, how to deploy innovationists, especially AI, responsibly, and how to build prosperity within planetary boundaries. In simple terms, it's about, can we keep growing without breaking the planet and without tearing societies apart? Davos 2026 set records for political participation. Around 400 top political leaders attended, including close to 65 heads of state and government and 6 G7 leaders. Names included U.S. President Donald Trump, French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, and China's Vice Premier He Lifeng. Alongside them were almost 850 top CEOs and chairpersons, nearly 100 unicorn founders and tech pioneers, plus academics, labor leaders, and major NGOs, geopolitics, and a fractured world. One major track focused on geopolitics in a contested world, including tensions across the Atlantic, disputes over Greenland, conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East, and broader shifts in global power. Panels explored how sanctions, tariffs, and security alliances are reshaping trade, investment, and supply chains. AI, jobs, and inequality, artificial intelligence was another huge focus. Leaders discussed how AI could boost productivity and growth, but also how it might disrupt up to 40% of jobs globally and around 60% in advanced economies through automation or transformation of roles. Tech CEOs and policymakers debated AI governance, bias, and AI slop low quality. Mass-produced AI content that can flood information spaces and undermine trust. There was also concern that if AI's gains go mainly to the richest firms and investors, it could deepen existing inequality. Climate, energy, and the AI environment paradox. Climate, energy, and the AI environment paradox. Climate and energy transition were central topics. But with a new twist, the AI environment paradox. AI can help optimize energy systems, accelerate climate research, and improve efficiency. Yet the data centers and computing needed for AI could consume up to 945 terawatt-hours of electricity annually by 2030, more than the usage of countries like Germany and France combined. Executives and policymakers emphasize the need for renewable-powered infrastructure, more efficient cooling, and cleaner model training practices so that AI doesn't undermine climate goals. Another stream focused on skills, education, and social protection as economies digitize. Discussions highlighted reskilling workers for AIRA jobs, improving social safety nets, and making sure younger generations in developing countries are not left out of the future of work. Outside the conference halls, Davos remains controversial. In 2026, around 600 protesters marched towards Davos to highlight inequality, climate injustice, and the influence of big corporations over global politics. NGOs and activist groups argue that Davos is an annual gathering of corporate and state elites that promotes an economic model benefiting the top while excluding workers, marginalized communities, and those most affected by crises. Organizations like Oxfam released reports warning about extreme wealth concentration, while others demanded stronger action on climate. Fair taxation of the ultra-rich, and more democratic decision-making. This tension between a polished official agenda and anger on the streets is now a permanent feature of Davos. Does Davos really matter? Do they actually change the world, or is it just a photo op in the snow? Supporters say it's one of the few places where presidents, CEOs, scientists, and activists can openly discuss long-term issues and start partnerships that wouldn't happen otherwise. Critics say the real power dynamics never shift, that many promises made at Davos are not followed by action once everyone flies home. The reality is likely in the middle. Davos is where narratives, priorities, and alliances are shaped hand. Those can influence policy and investment over time, even if you don't see instant results. Now that you know what happened at Davos 2026, what do you think? Is it a useful platform for dialogue, or just an exclusive networking event for the global elite? Tell me in the comments. If you had 5 minutes on the Davos main stage, what issue would you bring up first? If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who's curious about how global decisions get made. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.